Rush Duel is home to incredibly powerful cards, unique to its format, but also many iconic cards from Yu-Gi-Oh's original series. This includes the powerful one per deck Legends, but mostly consists of unimpressive vanilla monsters. I decided to hit King of Games with only cards imported from Yu-Gi-Oh's Speed Duel counterpart. I've previously built a successful deck with Gaia, but this time, I had something else in mind. The winner of the KoG Rush Festival utilized a strategy built around Harpie Lady. While the sisters don't work exactly the same as they do in Speed, they share the same English name, making them legal. Less legal, however, are cards like Piercing Samurai and Talismanic Seal Array, both of which are responsible for the deck's ability to push out high damage turns, even through passive boards. We'll mostly be replacing these cards with vanilla winged beasts, but we're also throwing in 3 copies of Harpie's Pet Dragon, another card buffed from its Speed counterpart. Rounding things out are a few 1400 defense point monsters, meant to fend off attacks from cards like Opposing Samurai. We may only have 2 spell trap cards, but with 9 high-level monsters, perhaps it is a good thing. Our only other options were cards like Sparks and Blue Medicine. We climb our way to Gold 5, and the challenge begins. Our first opponent is a fearsome Thunder player, landing a turn 1 Essel to bring out Trigger Drago. Our board gets cleared, but with 2 Harpie Lady Sisters in hand. Clearing this is no problem. Unfortunately, it did take all cards from our hand, allowing Thunder Gazelle to activate its effect, inflicting a fair deal of piercing damage. However, Shield and Sword flips the script next turn, allowing us to make a push while keeping a pet dragon in hand for later. The Tide's turn, once again, as I establish a full board and clear out our measly 2 monsters. A huge push puts us to just 1,000 life. It all comes down to our final draw, and we get exactly what we need. By tributing off 3 low-level monsters, we summon our pet dragon and another copy of Sisters. With this, we claim victory, ignoring the Trigger Drago and opting to swing into the 2 1500 beaters. Game 2 begins, and we're against the strongest deck in the format, Hell Tuning Invasion. We decide to set Pet Dragon alongside Harpie Girl, minimizing damage against heavy metal. Unfortunately, they draw Invasion instead, swinging in directly. But Royal Rebel has a weakness, and that's the non-existent defense stat. Shield and Sword allows us to crack back with Cybertech Alligator and Harpie Lady Sisters. We have 3 winged beasts in the graveyard, but by tributing off Harpie Lady Sisters for a second copy, we use the effect twice and secure lethal damage. Game 3 pits us against Aqua, a deck known for their healing capabilities, and things are looking rough since we can't use cards like Talismanic Seal Array to push in for more damage. We set 3 and pass, and they respond by clearing 2. We brick a bit on 2 copies of Pet Dragon, but have just enough low levels to stay in the game. They reveal their set cards to be Shield and Sword and Talismanic Seal Array, allowing them to push in while simultaneously replenishing the back row. We try to break through with Pet Dragon and Cybertech Alligator, but Widespread Ruin keeps a monster on board. I'm worried about the healing, so I clear Essel for extra damage. It works out, as they are forced to tribute Kanan for Dion Keto, once again filling the back row as well. We have no choice but to swing in with a copy of Sisters, and somehow we don't run into a trap. With 400 life remaining, my opponent reveals 3 set copies of Hydration. Our lack of spell and trap cards turns from a weakness to a strength, with my opponent bricked on removal they could never use. We summon out a Pet Dragon, and even with a fresh trap, they can't stop us from taking game. Game 4 opens with a set Pet Dragon and Cybertech. I figure Resonance is going to have a tough time clearing 2 bosses in 1 turn. Unfortunately, they turn out to be running Ancient Forces and push through no problem. We only draw a single boss, and we use Harpie Lady Sisters to clear Ancient Arise Dragon. Fortunately, we do have the Widespread Ruin as a means of protection, and thanks to a misplay with Dragon Merchant's buff, Clear Ice Dragon is forced to crash rather than clear. We easily replace our sisters and bring the opponent to just 800 life points. Dragon's Inferno pops Shield and Sword, but they end on a lone Ancient Arise Dragon with just one back row. The combination of two 2600 monsters guarantees lethal. The climb has gone surprisingly smoothly, but we still have to win one more game. We load in, and our opponent has an archive skill. I'm up first, and I think we're in a mirror match, so I summon Alligator to prevent a huge swing from Hysteric Force's flip effect. Once my opponent starts playing cards, however, it becomes clear they are on aggro. My Wise-Head Moon keeps me safe, but we draw into a ton of low-level monsters, which bodes poorly should they find a multi-strike Dragon Dragias. Fortunately, they pass on a lone Dion Keto instead. It pains me to do so, but we crash Cybertech Alligator before getting in for 2700. With no bosses in sight, I cannot afford to let my opponent stall out and gain 1,000 life every turn. The opponent scares me with a Seahorse Carrier, but ultimately does not use it for anything important and ends with 2 cards in hand. I can't clear the board, but my opponent is low, so I decide to push where I can and have Harpie Lady clear out Seahorse. They establish a stronger board on the next turn, but with the help of Shield and Sword, the match is over. 5 games, 5 different decks, and we've hit KoG using exclusively cards from Speed. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in more, check out this video where I hit King of Games without opening a single pack. Or click the video below to see where the algorithm takes you. Thank you.